out in front of it. You can only be nimble enough and ready to expect almost anything from the clouds.
Let's have another look at the Honda starting lineup, because it was up there and we did not make any reference to it whatsoever. And especially there's Alex Guerrero. Guerrero will be starting in left field tonight, but all eyes will be on the catcher, Yasmani Grandal. Grandal, of course, red hot. In his last 5 games, he's merely hitting .706, 3 home runs and 10 runs batted in. In his last 5 games, he's had 12 base hits, including the pair of 3-run home runs last night. So that's the Honda starting lineup with Peterson and Rollins and Turner, Gonzalez, Grandal, and Guerrero. Ethiers in right, Uribe at third base, and Brett Anderson, former Colorado Rocky, pitching and batting ninth. And they will be facing 24-year-old Eddie Butler, who is making his 2nd consecutive start on 6 days rest.
Well, the one thing about Eddie Butler, there is some experience versus him against the Dodgers. So versus the Dodgers last April, he went 5 innings. He struck out 4, had 1 base on ball, 6 hits, got the loss, allowing 2 earned runs. He comes at you with a fastball in the mid-90s. He's got a very hard slider that clocks at 87. He features a curveball and a changeup. But you know you're going to get a fastball. 63% of the time it's a fastball. And when you have 2 strikes, it's over half the time he's coming at you. So be ready, get your pitch, and drive it.
Defensively behind Butler tonight, Nolan Arenado out of Fort Beach, and Troy Tulowitzki. A fine defensive left side of the infield. DJ LeMahieu is merely the 2nd leading hitter in the National League. Justin Morneau at first. Corey Dickerson, Charlie Blackmon, Carlos Gonzalez in the outfield. Nick Huntley is the catcher. Mentioned Jock Peterson. Peterson, of course, tied with Adrian Gonzalez for 2nd in home runs in the National League. Each has 9. Todd Frazier has 10. Peterson, Rollins, and Turner will be starting it off. It is 51 degrees. It is cold. It is raw. It is miserable, but it is no surprise. We were expecting this forecast all along. Colorado, Denver, the Rockies have been dealing with this weather over the past week, and the Rockies are just having a miserable time of it. They've lost 7 in a row, and during this 7-game losing streak, they've been outscored 65-25. So Walt Weiss in his 3rd year is certainly being tested. The Rockies began the season at 7-2. They've gone 4-13 since. Dodgers, on the other hand, come in having won 6 of their last 8, 9 of their last 13, and enjoy a 4-game lead on the Padres, 4.5 over the Giants and Arizona Diamondbacks. The Rockies are 6 games off the pace. And at long last, the first pitch of the night, and Peterson takes low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Peterson is 6th in the National League with a .427 on base percent. He's walked 23 times, 2nd in the league in that category. Butler falls behind 2-0. So the Rockies put the shift on. Only Arenado on the left side of the infield. Outfield is essentially straight away for Peterson. Butler falls behind 3-0.
You've sat around the locker room waiting for a start time, and then you've got to deal with weather like this. Getting off to a fast start is real important for a team's psyche, for the starting pitcher's psyche. It's a night when you hope things go right. You're not completely sure.
Peterson takes a strike, and it's 3 balls.
Everybody's pregame regimen has kind of been screwed up.
Well, the first pitch was supposed to be at 6:40 local time. Now Peterson works out the leadoff walk. A 1 hour and 4-minute rain delay. So at 7:44, our first pitch.
These 2 teams have the worst ERAs in the first inning. The Rockies at 6.92 and the Dodgers at 7.71. But the 2 pitchers on the mound have one of the best for each team. Butler has a 1.8 in the first inning. He usually gets off the hot starts, and Brett Anderson hasn't given up a run in the first inning.
Now Jimmy Rollins Rollins at 162, 17 hits on the young season, 3 home runs, and 11 runs batted in.
Even though that weather is a factor, and you don't know how many innings or when the rain might be coming back, because that's in the forecast, you still have to be smart and play your game. You definitely want to get runs on the board early, because if it may come into play, but at the same time you don't want to run yourself out of an inning either, because you're trying to force something.
1 ball and no strikes to Jimmy Rollins. And so you don't necessarily play it as a short game, but in the back of your mind,
right,
it could well be.
Right. So
now the 1-0 on the way. Rollins takes a strike. It's 1-1. Justin Turner on deck. Turner tonight batting third and playing at second base. One of the reasons he's batting third above and beyond his .320 average. 6 for 8 in his brief meetings with Eddie Butler.
Pretty decent count to play a little hit and run here, get Jimmy out of his slump.
Wraps it foul.
You're expecting fastball from Butler, a guy who really doesn't have dominant stuff. And Jimmy has been struggling, and sometimes one of the ways to get a struggling hitter to be free and easy up there is to almost force him to swing.
So Butler is ahead 1-2. He's 6'2", 180. He'll turn 24 next month. A Virginian. First round pick in 2012. Missing outside. 2-2. Renzo Bundy flashing the signs at Rollins. He steps out of the box, albeit briefly. Peterson, of course, last year in the PCL, a 30-30 man. So he can run. He's got 1 stolen base, but he's been caught 3 times. Nearly picked off.
He was going. First step was the second base. Little jab step. Fortunately, didn't get his weight shifted over his right foot.
Yeah, he was trying to get a great jump over there. But what got him as well is the fact that the pitcher actually buckled the front knee. He had I call it it is a balk move.
It is
yeah, it's a balk, but that's what got him. Rarely do umpires call it, but that's what Eddie Butler did, and that's why you had Jock leaning as well.
Let's see what Peterson does on 2-2 after the close play at first. Well, if nothing else, Peterson has gotten into the Butler's head. Not quite a full shift for Rollins. Tulowitzki's a couple of steps to the third base side of second base. Into left, slicing, foul and out of play. Corey Dickerson gave it a good try. Dickerson has a great throwing arm, by the way. 5 assists. This is the first of a 3-game series. The Dodgers split the 4 in Milwaukee. And, of course, the emphatic 14-4 win yesterday afternoon. The Rockies have been struggling since the first week. Rollins down on strikes. So Eddie Butler was going to mention that Butler, this is the second start in a row he has made on 6 days of rest, and the first one didn't work out too well. Went 4 innings, gave up 5 runs on 4 hits and 2 walks, and struck out 3. Now here's Justin Turner. Howie Kendrick getting the night off tonight. Turner has enjoyed Butler's offerings.
We'll see if Jock Peterson is thinking about stealing a base here. I mean, he was thinking about it in that last bat with Jimmy Rollins, and he almost got picked off. And after you see that balk move and you know that the umpire doesn't call it, it kind of ruins your confidence, because you're like, okay, you wait for even a split second to make sure he's going home, and that's not the best job.
Well, there goes Peterson, and the throw down to second base is not going to be in time.
There you go.
Well, Jacques got a really nice walking lead right there. Eddie Butler never stopped him, so he had his momentum going towards C as he just keeps on going. It's a really good jump, but Eddie Butler never had him settle in.
And from the Rockies' point of view, it's a good thing they've got the tallest second baseman in the game in DJ LeMahieu, who stands 6'5". That may well have gone into center, and Peterson would have been at third. In the meantime, 2-0 to Turner with Gonzalez on deck. The outfield straightaway. 3 balls and no strikes. So Butler has already thrown 14 pitches, and only 5 of them for strikes. Six days of rest. Cold, nasty night. 3-0 to Turner. And another walk. And here comes Adrian Gonzalez.
Rhythm could be hard for Eddie Butler to find. He came out about 7 o'clock thinking the starting time was going to be about 7:30. He started tossing around 5 after 7, and really the rain was still coming down. The tarp was still on the field, and it looked like we weren't going to start at the projected time of 7:30. The information he got was a little late of when the starting time got moved back to 7:40. So about 50% of his playing catch and throwing time was a little too early for his liking, I'm sure, because he had to really string out his warm-up and might have a tough time finding his rhythm here in this first inning.
Well, here's Adrian Gonzalez riding a 7-game hitting streak, celebrating his 33rd birthday. He's had 1 hit in each of the last 7. 381 with runners in scoring position this year. That's 8 out of 21. He takes a ball in the dirt. Butler can't find home plate with the GPS. So Adrian Gonzalez, second in the league with 9 home runs, third in the league with 24 runs batted in, third in the league with a .364 batting average. Has always enjoyed playing against the Rockies. Here's a strike. Yasmani Grandal is on deck. The Dodgers is a team coming off their 14-run performance yesterday, 8 of them driven in by Grandal. Have scored the most runs in the National League, have hit the most home runs in the Major League. And the Rockies, as a team, have the lowest ERA of any of the 30 teams in the Major League. Rocky ERA is 5.38. Here's a 2-1. Drilled into right center field. That is well hit, and that's one hop over the wall for a grounds rule double.
That ground rule double hurts the Dodgers because Justin Turner had a great jump and a great read on that ball, and he was right behind Jock Peterson, and so he would have scored easily and has to now go back to third base. Adrian Gonzalez, ball down the middle of the plate, still with that pretty swing, hasn't changed one bit, and he drives that ball to right center. And then we'll look at Justin Turner. Watch his read here on this ball. He is just going, recognizing, taking off. Jock was smart right there. He has to make sure, because he knows he's in scoring position. If it gets over his head, he'll score easily. But Justin Turner was right on his heels.
Turner had the play in front of him. And so now the Dodgers second and third, 1 out, 1 in. And here's the red-hot Yasmani Grandal, who in the last week has seen his average go from 179 to 301, up 122 points. Grandal had 10 hits in the first 18 games of the season. And he has had 12 in the last 5. So 4 home runs and 12 runs batted in. When you're hot, you're hot. Guerrero's on deck. Grandal takes inside.
This is a semi-intentional walk right here. Even though it's the first inning, you've given up 1 run. They know how hot Yasmani is. They know Alex Guerrero, right-handed batter, is on deck. So you'd have a right-on-right situation for the defense of the Rockies. Walt Weiss knows that this is not his pitcher losing control still, even though he's walked 2 guys here. He's just trying to be strategic.
22 pitches. Only 7 strikes have been thrown by Eddie Butler. Here's a strike. 3-1.
They have the infield playing back here. They obviously are looking for that. They're willing to give up the run. So they're trying to stay out of that really big inning.
The shift is on for Grandal. Guerrero awaits. Slicing. It's caught. Tagging and scoring is Turner. Heads up base running by Justin Turner. Nice play made by Dickerson. And the Dodgers take a 2-0 lead.
3-1 fastball. They're trying to come up and in, and it leaks back over the plate. Yasmani swinging the bat, seeing the ball really well, lets it fly, and really gets it deep enough for a sacrifice fly, even though it's caught in foul territory. He'll get an RBI on this. And Turner just heads up, not taking anything for granted that the ball wasn't going to be caught. Got on there and got ready to tag and made it count.
And for Grandal, that's 9 RBIs in the last 24 hours or so. Now Guerrero at 342, 6 home runs, 14 runs batted in. And he checked his swing foul. That was the first pitch strike thrown by Butler to him.
That was the first time I've seen Alex Guerrero this year just kind of swing and not really recognize the pitch out of the pitcher's hand. I think that one, he liked it, but it started running in on his hands.
Dodgers with a quick pair of runs here in the first, and a diving stop by Nolan Arenado. What a spectacular play by the 2-time Gold Glover out of Newport Beach, robbing Guerrero of the double and costing the Dodgers a run. What a play by Arenado.
Arenado makes a great play and a great quick throw, and I think Justin Morneau gets caught in between do I need to get this ball and tag the runner or stay on and stretch. I'm not sure he would have been able to stretch that far
without hurting something.
Yeah, Arenado, though, absolutely amazing. It doesn't take him long to impress us.
Well,
it was just an unbelievable. I mean, him laying out. I mean, that was a rocket down the line.
He's Brooks Robinson every game.
Nolan Arenado, Gold Glove winner in his rookie year, Gold Glove winner again last year, and earlier this year, the catch of the year. It's in San Francisco.
Don't forget about the throw.
Right.
From his knees on the tarp.
The budding star, Nolan Arenado, is hitting .295 as well. And now Andre Ethier with runners at the corners. Ethier takes a strike and it's 0-1. Andre at .292. What a job he has done while Yasiel Puig's been on the shelf. And it gets past the catcher, and in and out at the plate is Gonzalez. Nick Hundley with a terrific play, and Butler with the tag, and Gonzalez was caught betwixt and between. But the Dodgers come up with a couple of runs and a couple of hits and leave one. Nick Hundley with a terrific play, and there was Butler Gonzalez couldn't avoid the tag. During which time they've been outscored 65-25. Got Charlie Blackmon leading off, and then Corey Dickerson. Tulowitzki has but 2 home runs all year. Morneau in the cleanup spot. Arenado, we just saw what he can do. Carlos Gonzalez. Cargo's hitting .202. Nick Hundley riding a 10-game hitting streak. LeMahieu is the second leading hitter in the National League, and then it's Eddie Butler. First pitch from Brett Anderson is low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Blackmon.
Brett Anderson trying to follow up his best outing as a Dodger, where he beat the Diamondbacks, went 6 innings, didn't give up a run. What he's got to really improve on is getting people out with 2 strikes. He is one of the worst, actually, in the National League. People are hitting .283 off him with 2 strikes. The league average is .173.
Turner with the backhand, the throw, and he just gets Blackmon at first.
Turner goes to his backhand here, trying to read the hop, and gets it on his heels, so he knows he has to get rid of it quickly because Blackmon has some speed getting down the line. So that was one of those that in between where you're going as an infield, do I go charge it or do I get it kind of on the back like he did on the back of the grass, almost letting the ball play him a little bit, but recognizing he has to get rid of it quickly.
Turner making his 2nd start of the year at second base. Kendrick the night off tonight. Didn't take long for him to get his first piece of work. Dickerson takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Corey Dickerson at .290 with 5 home runs and 15 runs batted in. Tulowitzki on deck. In the hole and into left field for a base hit for Corey Dickerson. Defensively for the Dodgers tonight, Uribe and Rollins on the left side of the infield. As mentioned, Turner making his 2nd start at second base. Adrian Gonzalez, his 33rd birthday, 4-time Gold Glove winner. Guerrero in left, Peterson in center, Ethier is in right, and Yasmani Grandal is behind the plate. And here's Troy Tulowitzki, who has hit a very quiet .298 this year. Of course, out of Long Beach State. Just 2 home runs and 94 at-bats. He has been struck out 20 times. He's walked twice. Anderson delivers a strike, and it's 0-1. Tulowitzki's been quiet, and Cargo's been practically silent.
It's really odd to see Tulo so quiet, and it's even odder to see Cargo down in the 6th hole, just barely hitting above 200.
Both profess that they're healthy. Tulowitzki had the hip surgery, slapped foul off to the right. One of the issues, of course, over the years for the Rockies, how do you keep your two stars healthy? This year, they're both struggling, and they have been healthy. And so it really has created all sorts of issues for this Colorado club. Here's Cargo. And then Tulo with but a couple of home runs.
The expectations high on Tulo when you're saying he's struggling at 298. I know he has 2 home runs, but he has, what is he, tied for second, I think, in doubles in the major leagues. Yeah, he's tied for second with 12 doubles, so he has some extra base hits. They're just not going out of the park for him. Despite him, us saying he's struggling, he's still a dangerous bat.
And you're hitting in the 3-hole. There must not be anybody getting on in front of you if you're hitting 298 with all those extra base hits.
He's one of those guys you can reasonably expect between 25 and 30 home runs a year. So he finds a hole into right, and Dickerson will hold at second.
This is a mistake right here. This ball is up. You see Tulo go up and get it.
Tulo does an excellent job just staying on top of that ball, because that's one of those one ball where that's thrown is that high strike zone where at that 95, 96 mile an hour range, if the pitcher's throwing in that, where it's tough to get on top of. Oftentimes hitters miss that. But Brett Anderson doesn't throw that hard, and Tulo does a good job getting on top.
So Anderson is in a hole. The Dodgers scored 2 in the top of the first. As Justin Morneau steps in. He's got 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in. Oral, Anderson relies quite a bit on a breaking ball. It is cold, it is rainy. We are at Coors Field. We're under the best of circumstances. It's hard to break off breaking pitches. What's a man to do?
For left-handed hitters, he needs to own that outside part of the plate.
Chopper to second. Turner to Rollins, on to Gonzalez, and that ends the inning. So Justin Turner, a busy man in the first. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 man left for the Rockies. Justin Turner, 2 plays in the first inning of his second start at second base. A nasty night. Certainly earning her keep downstairs is Alana Rizzo. Cold, rainy, miserable?
Well, I'm not quite miserable yet. I'll let you know, though, if the rain starts coming down a little bit harder. Hi, guys. It's cold and wet down here, but we are playing baseball, and that is a good thing. And Yasiel Puig and Kenley Jansen are trying to get to that point where they can play as well. Time now for the Curlin Job injury report. Yasiel Puig, yesterday at Single 8 Rancho Cucamonga 0-for-4 as the DH, expected to play in the outfield tonight and tomorrow. Kenley Jansen, the closer, also on his way back as well. Still making progress. He has a few more innings to throw, though, before they feel he's ready to come off the DL, guys.
Here's Andre Ethier leading off for the Dodgers in the second. Stay warm. Ethier, 4 home runs and 10 runs batted in. Takes inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Couple of notes. Puig is eligible to come off the DL on Sunday. He'll not be flying here for a snowstorm. But the expectation is he will be ready to go, assuming he gets through his rehab games tonight and tomorrow on Monday. And from the time they operated on the foot of Kenley Jansen, they figured about the middle of May, and he's right on schedule.
Well, I was asked a question regarding Puig if he comes back, and speaking of Andre Ethier, who's up at the plate right now, is what does that mean for Andre when Puig comes back? And I was saying, I don't think it really changes the value of Andre or his playing time. I mean, the Dodgers have played 28 games. Andre has been a part of 26 of those games, and we know the versatility of Andre Ethier, and Carl Crawford's still out over there on left field. It doesn't mean he can't go over there and play at left field as well. So, Andre is still going to be an important piece to this outfield and this ball club.
In terms of the position players for the Dodgers, it really has been an embarrassment of riches. You've got the third baseman are hitting about 350 as a group. You've got Guerrero, third base, left field. Van Slyke, left field. You'll be able to move Ethier from right to left when Puig comes back. And so there are a lot of moving parts as Uribe takes a strike.
Yeah, this roster has been very thick and really has done Don Mattingly and Andrew Friedman a service by playing all so very well. I mean, we have very few guys, Jimmy Rollins and maybe Juan Uribe here, that have struggled a little bit at the plate, but everybody else has flourished, including good guys like Alex Guerrero that were really not expected to get this kind of playing time and have this kind of production.
Well, that's the thing. Guerrero, 6 home runs, 14 runs batted in 39 at-bats. And hitting a paltry 359. What a double play. Started by Nolan Arenado, then to LeMahieu, then to Morneau. This is worthy of our Carl's Cam replay. What a play by Arenado.
I mean, you don't want to hit it to this guy. I mean, he has so much range over there, and he just recognizes that he has to get rid of this so quickly, off balance, and he throws a bullet over there to second base.
That throw to second is so hard.
Oh,
what he just did. He got back on top of it.
It's really like he was throwing it behind him. He had to move his body and get something on it to throw back where he was coming from.
As the play's unfolding, you're thinking, okay, it's a force out at second.
But then you see how hard he threw it to second base. You're like, uh-oh, that's a double play.
And LeMahieu, a terrific second baser, was able to make the pivot. 1-1 to Brett Anderson. Two balls and a strike.
I wonder how Nolan Arenado can play shortstop. The reason he's probably not playing shortstop is because they got a good one, a Gold Glove, and Tulowitzki. But gosh,
into center field. Blackman's got a long way to go, and he will track it down. A step in front of the warning track. Well struck by Anderson. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the second on a damp and chilly night in Denver. Dodgers 2-0. At 30 Highway MPG, this car was made for driving in California. Visit Dodge.com today. So Brett Anderson has a 2-0 lead to work with as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. And guess who's leading off? 2 years ago in his rookie season, Nolan Arenado won the Gold Glove, and everybody thought, well, gee, Juan Uribe should have won it. And you generally don't give a Gold Glove to a rookie. Well, they did, and then all they did was win the Gold Glove again last year, and we saw a spectacular play, 2 of them already tonight.
Yeah, and I'm like, is he well on his way for a 3rd one this year? I mean, he's made some amazing plays all year long.
Yeah, you really come to realize, I think Juan Uribe deserves a Gold Glove, but Arenado is at a different carrot level. A little finer, just a little bit.
I think you got Juan Uribe's got unbelievable hands of what he does over the third base, but I think the range that Arenado just has over there is tremendous.
6 home runs, 17 runs batted in. No balls and 1 strike. Born in Newport Beach. Now Uribe showing off his arm. And Gonzalez showing off his glove.
I mean, as an infielder, the beauty of having a Gold Glove first baseman over there. And you know, Juan Uribe was, first of all, the reason he sat back on that is because of the high hop and trying to see if it was going to be fair. And Nolan hustling down there. And he knew he had to fire that across, and a great pick over there by Gonzalez.
Well, we've seen some terrific defense in the first not quite 2 innings. Now the struggling Carlos Gonzalez. Cargo at 202. 2 home runs, just 6 runs batted in. Swings and misses, and it's 0-1.
He's hitting down here in the 6th hole. The Rockies have actually put 4 left-handed hitters against Brett Anderson, a lefty on the mound. That's unusual at times in the big leagues. But Anderson has struggled against lefties. Lefties are hitting almost a little over 400 against him. And the reason they've struggled is he's had trouble getting the ball to the outer part of the plate against left-handers.
Into center field, and Jock Peterson is there.
Right there, very nice breaking ball, low and away, got Cargo reaching. I know the ball carries a long way here in Colorado. It looks like it was hit well, but that was an outstanding pitch. A place where he needs to live against lefties.
Brett Anderson, of course, pitched here in Colorado last year.
The 4 starts he had here last year in Coors Field, he was 1-2 with a 3.54, so he's dealt well with the altitude.
Nick Hundley, a former Padre, spent a half a year in Baltimore last year. He's hitting .343 in the midst of a 10-game hitting streak. So you got 2 former Padre catchers here tonight, Hundley and Yasmani Grandal. The ground ball, right side base hit. That's 11 straight for Nick Hundley.
Both of them swinging the bat well.
Yeah.
Hundley did a nice job getting inside a fastball in. He's coming in there. He doesn't get it all the way in there, and he just does a nice job inside out and staying on that ball, getting it back into the center of his body. Smoke that. That tells me if I'm starting against him that I got to watch the way he's swinging the bat, not recognize the fact that he's hitting in the 7 hole, recognize that he's swinging the bat well.
Well, speaking of swinging the bat well, you got him in the 7th hole, and you have LeMahieu coming up in the 8th hole. He's only hitting .368.
That's 2nd in the National League, and he's got a 9-game hitting streak to boot. Won a Gold Glove last year. He's an emerging star. DJ LeMahieu. He was a source of frustration up in Chicago with the Cubs, and so they sent him to Colorado for Ian Stewart, who was a source of frustration with the Rockies. Well, it worked out well for Colorado. LeMahieu with 1 home run, 14 runs batted in. He has 32 hits, 26 singles.
His It's a big out right here for Brett Anderson to make next innings lead off with the pitcher.
Jock Peterson. And that's going to do it. Mission accomplished for Brett Anderson. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the 3rd. Anderson and the Dodgers up 2-0. Friday night fireworks next Friday night. Take your place on the field to see the fireworks featuring songs from 1965. For more information, go to Dodgers.com/promotions. Be at the top of the order for the Dodgers in the top half of the 3rd. They had Eddie Butler on the ropes in the 1st inning. It'll be Jock Peterson, Jimmy Rollins, and Justin Turner. Butler threw 28 pitches in the 1st inning. Brett Anderson has thrown 23 through the first 2 innings. So Peterson walks again. Jock's on base percentage now is .432, 6th in the league. Rollins and Turner to follow. The shift is on for Peterson. It's 1 ball, no strike. Jock 9 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Tied with Gonzalez, 2nd in the league. Todd Frazier. Cincinnati's got 10. Butler delivers a strike, and it's 2-1.
Jock has shown that he can get on top of that high fastball, but he's a much better hitter when he gets the pitcher to gear down. Most left-handers are a lot better low ball hitters than high ball hitters.
Well, so far the wind has died down. The rain has stopped. Showers still in the forecast for later tonight. A bad day tomorrow, not much better on Sunday. Here's a 2-2. Call, strike 3. Second strikeout for Butler, and it's the first out of the 3rd.
Right down the middle, a little slider, and it's at the bottom of the knee, and it just catches that. That's the kind of pitch, if you're Eddie Butler, you have to get when you're pitching here in Coors Field. If you don't get that bottom of the zone strike, it's really hard to pitch her.
Jimmy Rollins, a strikeout victim in his first at-bat. Takes under the knees, 1 ball, no strikes.
You know, what's interesting about the Dodgers this year is as we're going through the lineup the second time.
Bobbled. Are they going to be able to hit Rollins? No. So Tulowitzki Clanks off the heel of the glove. He's a Gold Glove winner.
He is, and this one kicks up, and he just misplaces it. You know, you see that high hop that he gets over there, and then guarantee you ask him, he'd tell you, he's like, I should have had that ball. And he just was unable to come up with it. Good job by Jimmy hustling down the line to get on base. But I was saying the interesting thing about the Dodgers the second time through this year is usually you have your average seeing the pitcher for the second time through in the course of a game, your average goes up. The Dodgers, it's actually gone down, and usually in the years past it has gone up the second time they're facing the pitcher.
Now Justin Turner with a fly ball into right center field. That's Charlie Blackmon. That's the second out of the third. By the way, for Rollins, it goes as a base hit.
That's a little road cooking from the home scorekeeper to protect Tulo.
And we'll toast them with a Coors Light Cold Hard Pass. Adrian Gonzalez has certainly enjoyed coming to Denver, where a career .304, 17 home runs, 72 runs batted in. Almost as much fun here as he has enjoyed over the years in Milwaukee. And on his 33rd birthday, Gonzalez doubled in his first at-bat, drove in a run, and lifted his average to .370. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. It is cold, it is raw, it is 50 degrees. More rain due in, so they're trying to do everything they can to get this game in tonight. Gonzalez fouls it off to the left. Dodgers, by the way, will be back in Denver June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And then have another series at the end of September. And the other thing that we've been talking about on this road trip, Dodgers have a grand total of 2 off days in May and 1 in June. There goes the runner, and the throw to second base is out at second base. Rollins gunned down by Nick Hundley. No runs and 1 base hit. We'll go to the bottom half of the third. Bottom of the order, Eddie Butler, then Charlie Blackmon and Corey Dickerson. A hit against Brett Anderson. 2-0 Dodgers. Just 23 pitches, and it's been a first pitch strike, 7 out of 8.
He's been working very quick on the mound. I'm sure his fielders are appreciating that, and done a very nice job with his fastball and his breaking ball, his slider and his curveball. Hasn't thrown that many changeups.
Well, his next base hit will be his first. This year 0 for 8. He's been struck out half the time. Butler, Blackmon, and Dickerson to hit for the Rockies. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dating back to last season, the Dodgers have beaten Colorado 6 in a row. Beat them 13 out of 19 last year. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Walt Weiss knows a thing or two about playing in cold weather. Grew up in Westchester, New York, and suffered. Well, that's that for Butler. 0 for 9, 0 for 18 in his career, and that's his 5th strikeout of the season.
Tried the sneaky 2-strike bunt attempt and didn't get it down.
Now Charlie Blackmon steps in. Blackmon was robbed of a base hit by Justin Turner starting at second base tonight in his first at-bat. Blackmon is a very fast runner. Hit one up the middle. Turner backhand stab and threw out Blackmon by a half a step.
An interesting conversation last night, Nomar and I and Alana at dinner with Jimmy Rollins about the different angles of shortstops and second basemen. And you appreciate a guy like Justin Turner who plays on both sides of the diamond, being able to realize those angles and be on top of his defense.
Yeah, it is when you're so used to playing, say, shortstop, or if you're used to just playing second base, and then you have to go to the other side. It is a totally different view of the ball going to home plate, of the ball coming off a hitter's bat from a lefty and right hand, what you expect and how you want the spin to come off the bat. So Justin Turner, the ability to go from position to position is impressive.
Well, so much of the work for you as an infielder happens before the ball is contacted.
And as we see this ball going up and in, but you're exactly right, Oral. It's, you know, we're watching the ball go into the zone, and we can start anticipating as the hitter's starting his swing, so you're already moving. And when you're over on the other side, it's a different look, so your anticipation isn't quite the same.
And you even read the flight of the ball from the pitcher to know it's going to the outside, it's going to the inside with this break because you saw the signals. And so you really get that extra lean and step, and he's got to do it and read it both sides of the field.
Because it's a different look. It's a different look at the trajectory of the ball when you're on the other side of the field.
On 3-1 to Blackmon with 1 out. And he got hit by a pitch. Well, it feels really good to get hit by a pitch on a cold night like this.
This one just gets out of Brett's hand a little early, coming fastball in, and he just doesn't finish the mechanics. The ball might have slipped out his hand a little bit. There was no intent here at all. Blackmon gets his base and a little bit of a bruise.
Yeah, I think the frustration as a hitter is, you know, he had the one pitch before that was up and in, and then you come and you get hit by it. But I mean, they were just trying to get in on him. You don't want Blackmon to extend his hands.
With Brett's struggles against lefties, he's really trying to get the ball on the edges to left-handers, and he did not want to make a mistake over the middle of the plate, so he kept forcing it in there.
Here's Corey Dickerson, who singled to left in his first at-bat. Opposite foul and out of play. Dickerson out of Macomb, Mississippi. 8th round pick in 2010. Last year at 312. At the moment he's at 298. Tulowitzki's on deck. There's a breaking ball for a strike. 0-2.
Good pitch to get back in the count. You know, I know it's 0-2, but Brett has not really hit his target in his last 4 pitches to left-handers. He's trying to zone in there, keep this inning handled.
Tulowitzki on deck and Morneau to follow. Blackmon has stolen 3 out of 5 this year.
The pep talk you're giving yourself on the mound is, you know where you are in the batting order. You know there's a man on first, you hit him. You know where you are with this guy at the plate. And you got Tulo looming in the on-deck circle. So it's like, come on, get in there, get locked in, get some guys out.
And you know, at some point, Tulowitzki's going to bust out. Turner, Rollins, Gonzalez. So for the second time in 3 innings, Brett Anderson induces the Rockies to bounce into an inning-ending double play. When we go to the fourth, Gonzalez, Grandal, and Guerrero will be coming up. Double to right in his first at bat and drove in a run. And for Gonzalez, his 40th base hit and his 25th run batted in.
Yeah, Charlie hits a ground rule double there, and I mean that's big that it was a ground rule double, because it going over the wall, it made Justin Turner have to go back to third base, because he would have scored easily on that ball as well. And the score could easily be 3-0 right now.
Well, Turner would eventually come around to score when Grandal hit a sacrifice fly. So the Dodgers with the 2-0 lead, each team with 3 hits. Grandal and Guerrero to follow. You got the 3 Gs. Gonzalez, Grandal, and Guerrero to bat here in the fourth. Eddie Butler has settled down a bit since a shaky first inning. Four-year-old right-hander from Virginia. Gonzalez takes high.
No, Mar, being Adrian's birthday, 33, what is the beginning of the transition years for hitters as far as reaction time and eyes?
You know, I really can't pinpoint and say it's this. Everyone's different, obviously. I mean, that's the obvious answer, but you know, for me, it's hard to say, oh, it was when I was 30, 31, 32, because I was also dealing with injuries as well and how the body felt. So that came into play.
On 1 and 2, Gonzalez takes high.
And you just, you know, and then there are times where as you got older, you realize, oh, I still have the reaction time, because sometimes it's more mental, and you realize you think you're late, but you're not. So you have the bat speed. It's just making adjustments.
Gonzalez right into the Gold Glove of DJ LeMahieu. Now for a look at the Morongo slow-mo cam, DJ LeMahieu. Gonzalez saying, hey, it's my birthday, for goodness sake.
Exactly.
Got to change my angles. That's what he has to do.
Well, Yasmani Grandal, 8 RBIs last night. Sacrifice fly, a run batted in, his 13th of the season in his first plate appearance. Grandal, in his last 5 games, 12 base hits. He had 10 hits in his first 18 games. When you're hot, you're hot. You've got the shift on for him.
He's had 10 RBIs over the course of those 5 games as well, so he's averaging 2 RBIs a game. So he's already got 1 today, so he needs another.
He's had 9 in 24 hours.
The great thing for you and I, Charlie,
that'll leave a bee sting in the hands of Grandal. 2 out.
no matter what an offensive player does on the Dodger team at the highest level, we have somebody that's done it sitting next to us that can give us an accurate description of what they're going through. And usually the response is, after somebody has 9 RBIs or 8 RBIs, is anybody can have 8.
Stop. That's a response from you. Not from me.
But you had 10 in one game.
I did. I was fortunate. I had a good day, and I had 10. Listen, when you have 10 RBIs, it's not all you. I don't get up 10 times and hit 10 solo home runs. That's a tribute to my team getting on base and being able to come up with the bases loaded a couple of times. So, thanks to my team, and I was able to have that good day.
But I really, and I'm not trying to flatter you, but it is fun for me as a pitcher to sit next to you as a hitter and to hear all the great things that have gone through your mind and what I had to deal with.
Guerrero bounces to Tulowitzki in an easy inning for Eddie Butler. We'll go to the bottom half of the 4th. Dodgers 2-0. Lead as we head to the bottom of the 4th. It'll be Tulowitzki, Morneau, and Arenado. It's a beautiful night for baseball. Not so much. Didn't know if we were going to get the game in, and we were talking as we opened the broadcast an hour and 4 minutes later than expected because of the weather. That we are now in a window where the rain is supposed to hold off for a little while longer. Tulowitzki takes outside, 1 ball, no strikes. And the forecast for tomorrow is miserable. And on Sunday, they're expecting snow in the morning. Anderson, 2 balls and no strikes to Tulowitzki, who singled to right in his first at-bat.
If we want to know if we're going to play those games or not, we should just talk to the sweet lady out here in the hallway that kept informing us of the start times of the game. She was very nice.
Yeah, she's our security.
She was right on top of everything. When we got official word, it was 5 minutes after she already told us.
She knew she was right. Yeah. And here we are.
I think she has a text friend. Somebody high up text her. I don't know.
Tulowitzki wraps one to left field. Guerrero can't get it. It's 1 hop off the wall. And Tulowitzki will arrive at second base. Troy Tulowitzki is now 2 for 2. That's his 13th double of the season.
Slider didn't really make it down and in, kind of stayed up and over the plate. That's one of the adjustments you have to make when you pitch here in Coors Field, that your breaking balls really don't have the ability to bite if you don't start them on the correct trajectory. Easy for me to say.
Morneau takes a strike. Bounced into a double play in his first at bat. Tulowitzki at second base with 13 doubles. Matt Carpenter leads the league with 14. Adrian Gonzalez, who doubled in his first at bat tonight, has 12.
First two pitch selections from Yasmani and Brett hard away, trying to keep Morneau from hitting the ball to the right side and moving Tulowitzki over. Three of them over there trying to hit that outside corner. But the fact that this could only be a 5-inning game, if you can get out of this inning with just giving up one run, take that 2-1 lead, creeping closer to the fifth.
And it's beginning to rain again. It was a window, a small window.
Oh, Charlie, but there's a window.
And somebody is closing it on our fingers.
What you say in the clubhouse, there's always a window.
Anderson will hold Tulowitzki and throw to first. Hey, come on out to Dodger Stadium on May the 12th and be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance to receive a Clayton Kershaw bobblehead that celebrates his historic 2014 season. Presented by Coca-Cola. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Kershaw's expected to go tomorrow, weather permitting. To short and pass Rollins into left. Tulowitzki will hold at third. And now coming home, and he is safe. Arenado goes to second.
Yeah, that's the first hiccup we've seen from Alex Guerrero out there in left field. He's had a couple of days of challenges. Yesterday in Milwaukee, he had the first time he had to really play a sun field. And today in Colorado, you've got to play the distances and, of course, the wet turf right here. And he picks up a slippery rock, slips out of his glove, and just the throw is slightly offline, or he'd have had him, and it would have been a setup play instead of an error.
So a hit and an error, no RBI. But the Rockies are on the board, and Cargo has his problems continue. Close play at first. Arenado goes to third, there's two out.
Brett was a little late getting off the mound right there, and then the slippery turf for him was like a mutter going over there to first. He throws the pitch low and away. I think he gets it out there, and you see he had to make the pivot to get back over there, so he actually started on the third base side of the rubber. Made it over there just in time with a nice feed from his partner Adrian.
And Gonzalez showing no ill effects from the knee miseries he had to deal with last year. Now Nick Hundley, who's single to right. It's a 2-1 game with two out in the fourth. Into center. Peterson drifting back. And that'll do it. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error. As we go to the fifth. Dodgers 2 and the Rockies 1. Nissan. Get to Nissan's ride of your life for exciting performance and surprising offers. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by DraftKings. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com. Use promo code BLUECREW for free entry. A cold, nasty mist on this Friday night in Denver. The bottom third of the Dodger order coming up in the top half of the fifth, beginning with Andre Ethier, then Juan Uribe, and Brett Anderson. Elsewhere in the Western Division tonight, San Diego at Arizona. They're tied at 2, playing in the top half of the fourth. The Giants have a 4-0 lead over the Marlins in the bottom half of the second. As play began tonight, the Dodgers a 4-game lead on the Padres, 4.5 over the Giants, and Diamondbacks 6 over Colorado. Arenado throws out Ethier. Juan Uribe coming up. Uribe bounced into a double play in his first at-bat, not just any old garden variety 5-4-3 double play. It was the signature of Nolan Arenado.
Nolan saved a run in that first inning as well on a base hit by Alex Guerrero.
Well, Uribe didn't get cheated on that swing, did he?
Early in the count, see if you could cheat a little bit as a hitter, say, okay, maybe I can do a sneak attack.
1-1. Up the middle, off the foot of Butler. And a nice short hop pickup by Morneau. There's 2 out. Now they want to make sure that Butler is okay.
When you're following through on one leg and the other leg's whipping around, and then you get a ball hit right back at you, sometimes you even add to the impact because you're moving forward, the ball's moving at you. So sometimes you don't even get hit that hard, but because you're moving into it, he's able to lift his leg up a little bit. Looks like got him near the ankle bone. We're taking a look at the ankle right now on the shin. A shin burger.
And as a hitter, you're frustrated because you're like, all right, I drove it back up the middle. I did my job. I squared it up, and it hits the pitcher. Get out of the way.
Doesn't it always happen to the guys that are kind of struggling looking for hits?
Yes.
Butler wants to make sure that he's okay.
Well, of the 2 legs to get hit, you don't want to get hit on your landing leg. That's the one that takes all the pressure as you come down the hill. You can deal with some pain on the back foot, brace with it. But you can't deal with pain when you're going into release and trying to compete.
Now Brett Anderson flied to pretty deep center field in his first at-bat. He takes under the knees. 0 for 8 on the season. He has been struck out 5 times. The Dodgers 2-1 with 2 out of the top of the 5th. After the completion of the bottom half of the 5th inning, this game will be official.
Butler gets hit in the leg and just wants to get on the mound and throw strikes to the pitcher and get out of the inning, and he dug himself a 3-0 count.
With Jock Peterson on deck. 3-1.
The way Jock's swinging the bat, you got to take another one right here. You might even take 2 if you're Brett, just to get Jock up there with a man on first. Outside ball 4. First time Brett Anderson has been on base this year. It's a walk that could cost him 2 runs. Jock does what he likes to do.
That's the 4th walk given up by Butler. Jock Peterson, who has walked, stolen a base, scored a run, and has been struck out. The .429 on base percentage. He'll go with his 9 home runs and 19 runs batted in. And he drills it right into the glove of Justin Morneau. Peterson thinking, what do I have to do? Right at Morneau, who was holding Anderson on at first. That's it. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. LeMahieu, Butler, and Blackmon will hit for the Rockies. If we're able to get tomorrow's game in, it'll be Clayton Kershaw and Jorge De La Rosa. Sunday, where they're expecting some snow here, Zach Greinke and Kyle Kendrick. And we're reasonably assured there'll be no snow in Los Angeles when the Marlins are in town on Monday and Tuesday nights, and the early start time on Wednesday afternoon. So the mist that we have been playing through is intensifying. And the Dodgers would love to get through this bottom half of the 5th inning, make the game official, and then let it rain. LeMahieu flied to center in his first at-bat. Takes a strike, 0-1.
The radar says there's not a lot of breaks behind this cloudburst, so the umpires are going to push to get these 3 outs in.
LeMahieu takes outside.
Yeah, Charlie, I don't think this is a mist anymore. You're right. Good call.
It's been promoted. Congratulations. The mist has been promoted to a rainstorm. Slowly hit to third. The way things have been going for the Rockies, who have lost 7 in a row. They began the year 7-2 and have gone 4-13 since. The rain is really beginning to pick up now. As we take a look at it, the lights, sheets of rain are coming down. Well, they knew they were going to have a window. They knew it was going to be a short window. They were hoping both sides to get at least 5 innings in. And at this point, they're going to play through it here in the 5th. Then after that, who knows? To second base. Well, that's 1 out. And Eddie Butler is going to bat for himself. It's easier for the Dodgers to smile. They're leading 2-1 with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. 2 outs away from being an official game.
Well, both sides know about this weather in the weather report.
Butler struck out in his first at-bat. And he has grounded to second base in his second. So we're 1 out away from this game being official.
Brett's been good at because of the way this rain is coming down. Great job by Brett Anderson going right after it, getting those strikes, first pitch, swinging right there by Butler to get that quick out.
That's our crew chief down there at third base, Mike Everett. So the game is in his hands down there at third.
The game goes into the hands of the umpire immediately after the lineup cards are exchanged at home plate. Up until that moment, it's in the hands of the home team. And everybody knew what the radar was. Everybody knew what this was going to be all about tonight. And basically, it was a sprint for 5 innings.
It's a lighter downpour now. But
yeah,
it looks lighter because the count's 0-2 with 2 out.
And we're under a roof.
And we're ahead 2-1.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Ain't it lovely? Just high. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Start coming down that hill as a pitcher, and you don't want your foot to slip, so you got to be a little bit solider.
Oh! We both thought that was it.
A tight strike zone. Where is this pitch? Pitch tracks. Oh, okay.
Now it's 3-2.
Need to throw a strike here because I think they may, if they walk him, they may bring him in.
He
slept. Yep. And that's what they're going to worry about, his safety. And
first walk given up by Anderson.
Can't ask for help. That's the problem.
The game is in Mike Everett's hands.
Well, Brett Anderson just waved off the home plate umpire, Tim Timmons, saying, I don't need help, but don't try and fix the mound, because he realizes if he's got decent footing and he can get the ball over the plate, he wants to continue.
Now Corey Dickerson, who's 1 for 2. 5 home runs and 15 runs batted in. Dodgers 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. Rockies 1 run and 5 base hits. Blackman at first has great speed. Anderson delivers a strike, and it's 0-1.
That's a big time pitch right there. When you slip on the last pitch and then you have not taken a practice pitch or even looked at the footing of what could be, to be able to mentally push through that and compete. Big time first pitch strike.
Out away from the game becoming official. There goes Blackman. The pitch is hot. So now suddenly the tying run is in scoring position. 1-1 to Dickerson. It's like the bottom of the 9th.
It really feels like that, knowing what the radar looks like and what the weather's supposed to be for the next 2 days.
Chopper slowly hit, backhanded by Turner, throw to first, not in time, throw to the plate, and it is in time! And the game is official, a spectacular throw by Adrian Gonzalez. Now, the Rockies, when you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose, may want to take a look at a replay, because in fact the game could hinge on this. And they're going to take a look at it. Tim Timmons, the home plate umpire.
That one's
we
that
have
one's
seen
close.
one that ruled against us on this, where we thought a hand was there over the plate, but they couldn't tell from the evidence if the hand was actually touching the plate. And I thought, Nomar, in a play like this at the plate, you have a very good point about the plate is flat for a reason.
Yes, it's because safety. I mean, you know, obviously the pitch coming in, it's not going to be up like the rest of the bases. Whew. That's pretty close. They may overturn that. He may have gotten that toe in there before the tag.
So Tim Timmons, who made the call, Mike Everett, the crew chief, listening to the folks in New York.
He just showed it here in Colorado, and they all think he's safe.
They don't get a vote.
I know. Just like a couple times we've had some for the Dodgers where we're like, oh, he's safe, and they call him out.
I think he's out by like a half an inch.
Oh.
No.
It's close. Wow.
That last look makes me a little nervous.
Well, let's see what the judge, jury, and the executioner back in New York has to say. And the guys here in Denver saying, will you please hurry up? It's raining. It's cold. And now we await the verdict. In the meantime, the rain has slackened a little bit.
This look right here, boy, it sure looks like he's safe in that look, but can you really know if the foot gets down on the plate or is it just over the plate? If he was ruled safe, it would stand. Since it's ruled out, I think it got a better chance of standing.
The game could well hinge on this replay call. Yeah, we mentioned the rain has lightened up a little bit. But as Oral was mentioning, the rain window is rapidly closing, and the weather's not going to get any better.
We've had Brett Anderson standing out there for a while as well. So if they overturn this, he's got to start throwing a little bit just to stay warm, to stay loose.
He's about to do that, and the umpires that are not involved in the replay should be asking for the grounds crew to come out and to doctor the batter's boxes and the pitcher's mound, because if we continue, you're going to want it that way while we're hitting, and if we continue when we're on defense, you're going to want it that way when you're on defense.
So a 2-out walk to Blackman. He stole second.
Comes the decision.
And the answer is out at the plate. And the Dodgers breathe an enormous sigh of relief. The game is now official. 5 innings in the books. The rain continues to fall, and the Dodgers hold on to a 2-1 lead. This play at the plate, Blackman is tagged out by Yasmani Grandal. Denver, Coors Field, and the game is now official. And the Dodgers lead is 2-1. And they are manicuring the mound as best as they can, and they're putting the drying agent out on the infield. But the heavy rain that we had just a few minutes ago has slackened off to a continuing cold, nasty mist.
It was quite a play by Justin Turner to go up the middle, keep his footing, not throw wildly to first, for Adrian Gonzalez to realize in the bang-bang play there at first to forget about the play at first and get the ball relayed home just in time, making the accurate throw, and Yasmani putting the tag down. No matter how you think the play went, the Dodgers executed it perfectly.
One thing about watching Adrian Gonzalez play at all levels, whether it's a bat in his hand, whether it's a glove in his hand, his throws, he never seems rushed. He knows exactly what he has to do, where he has to go, and he made a perfect throw.
You like left-handed first basemen because of when they catch the ground ball to man at first, they have a nice easy throw to second for the double play, but that one he had to throw against his body like a right-handed first baseman would have to throw the ball to second to start the double play. So showed a very strong arm and accurate arm right there.
On his 33rd birthday. Dodgers hold on to a 2-1 lead as we go to the 6th.
And now they have to wait as they get the diamond dry out there, dry up this really wet field. And here's what you're talking about, Oral. They're coming across his body and having to make a strong throw.
And when you throw like that without your legs and without your hips, to throw it that strong and accurately, he put it right in the perfect place for Yasmani to just take his body and glove towards the area where he's going to tag in front of the plate.
It was also a part of the old Buster Posey rule, or I guess the new Buster Posey rule, in that Grandal could not block the plate
without the ball.
And then he was able to slap the tag on. And
yeah, in my day, Mike Scioscia would be there right in the line. He would drop to his shin guards prior to receiving the ball. He would take the impact of the slide, catch the ball, and then put the tag down. And that's the way Mike used to do it all the time.
Yeah, I don't mind if they go back to that rule. I don't like the new rule. I mean, I really don't. I mean, sorry.
I believe that train has left the station.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, here's Jimmy Rollins as we go to the 6th. And from sheets of rain to an annoying, frigid drizzle. Rollins is 1 for 2 tonight. Meanwhile, Eddie Butler, after a shaky first inning, has given up just 1 hit since. He has become effectively the Rockies' ace. His earned run average at the moment is at 377. The rest of the starters have a combined record of 5-10 and a 6.02 ERA. So the way things have gone for the Rockies lately, he is their best chance. 3 balls and no strikes to Rollins. Takes a strike, 3-1. He's about ready to leave his bat behind.
That ball is up.
That's a strike, now 3-2.
We talked about, Oral, when you're struggling. Calls like that where you're thinking, okay, I worked the walk. You go from a walk to a strikeout. That's rough.
For Butler, the 3rd strikeout.
Especially you're frustrated is, you know you're just not right where you want to be. And you're going, okay, I'm leading off the inning. I'm going to try to help my team. My job is to get on base, and gets that 3-0 that's up in the zone. It's not, doesn't get the call, and you end up striking out.
Justin Turner has walked, scored a run, and flied to center. 3-14. 4 home runs, 10 runs batted in, takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Gonzalez on deck. Kershaw tomorrow against Jorge De La Rosa. Turner takes it.
A lot of different reasons that can happen with these pitchers today in these conditions. Little slippery footwork over the rubber. You can get mud into your cleats there where your cleats don't even work. There's a nice little thing back in the back to get those cleaned off, but it still gets cakey. And then sometimes the rain actually gets in there right as you're gripping the ball, slips out of your hand.
Into the ribs. Adrian Gonzalez coming up. He's doubled and lined to second base. He takes high, 1 ball and no strikes. Grandal is on deck. Into right center field. And a diving attempt, and it's not caught by Gonzalez. Cargo, a base hit for Gonzalez. Adrian, first and second, 1 out. Second hit of the night for Adrian Gonzalez.
A little 33rd birthday present right here, having his ball fall in for a base hit.
Right off the tip of Carlos Gonzalez's glove.
Yeah, pitching coach Steve Foster is going to go out.
And now the rain's picking up again.
Dodgers are saying to themselves, let it rain.
Mike Everett going over to talk to the grounds crew.
By the way, that replay that ended the 5th inning, play at the plate. Generally, they take about 90 seconds, 3 hours. It felt like 3 hours. 3 minutes and 11 seconds.
With the game on the line,
Yeah.
possibly. So they were making sure in New York they really got it right.
Mark Razum is the head groundskeeper here at Coors Field, giving a weather update to the crew chief. And up the third base line, you're beginning to see some puddles form. Same thing along the first base line.
You remember last year, guys, when we had a game that was shortened here and the Dodgers ended up winning? It was like in June.
Now here's Grandal.
Remember that one? That was in June 8th, I believe. The Dodgers won 6-1. And remember, Jamie Romack got his first
that's right.
base hit. Big league base hit.
And we were hoping the game didn't get rained out so he wouldn't lose it.
Right. And he did get in that half inning, and it counted. It counted that half inning. They went 5.5 innings.
Right-hander Brooks Brown is warming up in the Colorado bullpen. And Grandal, a sacked fly, is bounced out as first and second. Line off the glove of Tulowitzki. The Dodgers now have the bases loaded. Turner held up at third at the urging of Lorenzo Bundy.
Well, we saw earlier they called that one a base hit on Tulowitzki. This ball was scalded. This was a rocket.
And off that wet grass, too.
And it just skipped off that wet grass. I hope they give Yasmani a base hit because it was not an easy play.
So now Guerrero is 1 for 2 and hitting .350, and he's got the bases loaded. And the Dodgers with a chance for some insurance, and Guerrero takes it under the chin.
Again, not on purpose. This one just comes out a little early up there around the chin, and Alex looking over at his teammates.
Guerrero 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position. 1 for 1 with the bases loaded. He fouls it back. Alex Guerrero yesterday, 436 feet. And just as we show you that highlight, we are getting a rain delay on this cold, nasty, miserable night. But remember, the game is official. The Dodgers have a 2-1 lead with 1 out, bases loaded in the top half of the 6th inning. And as we mentioned going in, that we had a narrow window to get the game in this evening. Well, they've done that. Now, whether or not it's going to stop again anytime soon and we continue, we don't know. So while we wait it out in this rain delay in Denver, as soon as the game continues, if it continues, of course, we'll all be back. But in the meantime, we'll send it back to warm, comfortable, lovely Southern California for more of Backstage Dodgers. We'll see you again soon, we hope.